I said Jen, and then boom, 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 the breaking news stinger came in. Yeah, it really wasn't worse. I've done a lot worse. It's what you get for killing me last week. Twice.
Hitting the open in 5.
No,
4,
I'm petty.
3,
I hold grudges.
2, 1.
Now from Atlanta News First Plus, this is Sports Tonight.
Us.
To Sports Tonight. I'm Bailey Burmaster, joined alongside Ellie Parker. Tuesday edition. What we got lined up for you. I am going to give Ellie like a solid minute off the top. Brett and I talked about week 1 yesterday. I'm going to let her talk about the Bears win, but also anything else, maybe week 1 she wants to get off her chest. Then we're going to talk about Georgia State hosting an SEC opponent, hear from Del McGee and the gang. Simone Biles is a coach from the Olympics, is finally in Athens, as she will take over as one of the co-coaches for the program. And then we're going to talk, what everyone's talking about is how concerned are you about Kirk Cousins? And we'll end with what is on your mind. But Ellie, let's circle back to the top, the positive. Caleb Williams got the dub.
Got it done despite not scoring an offensive touchdown.
Which seemed to be the theme this week, but whatever.
It definitely seemed to be the theme. He's the first number 1 overall pick quarterback to win his start since David Carr in 2002. Threw for 93 yards, I think 11 receptions. It wasn't the prettiest debut, we'll put it that way. But they got the job done somehow. Somehow beat the Tennessee Titans. You know what? I'm fine with that. He's a rookie. It's his first game. He had a great preseason, yes. But was he necessarily facing the starters in all those games? No. So, and a lot of the mistakes he made were rookie mistakes that you expect a guy in his first game to make. So I'm fine with it.
Anything else concerning you about Chicago after watching the first game?
I just hope Roma Dunze is fine towards MCL rather.
I saw that, and I'm sure you watched Hard Knocks.
Yes, I watched part of it.
Everyone hyped up Rome. And so you kind of hate to see him go down, especially because you felt like him and Caleb were building that connection. So, week 1 takeaways, not concerning the Falcons.
Look.
Because we will talk about that.
I know we're not supposed to, I know I have certain feelings about talking about fantasy teams. But
I lost this week, as I predicted.
I won this week because the guy I was playing had Christian McCaffrey.
Oh.
That's RB1.
Tough scene.
That's kind of the risk with him as a fantasy owner. He just gets injured a lot and has time out. But when he's on, he's on.
The people I thought that would let me down, Aaron Jones, David Montgomery, actually carried their weight. Mm-hmm. You know who let me down this week? Drake London.
I had Drake London starting as well.
I might be benching him until I see
I have Chris Godwin on my bench this week, so I'm going to swap those two. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would too. So football coming up this week. On Monday, we previewed a little bit. Georgia headed to Kentucky to face former quarterback Brock Vandagriff. But today we're going to talk about Georgia State, who will host Vanderbilt, a team obviously within the SEC that Del McGee has actually prepped for. So let's tune into their press conference on what Del McGee had to say about this matchup heading into the weekend.
How y'all doing today? Good. I had another typical Tuesday practice. Thought our guys had great enthusiasm, had a lot of juice, and it's going to be required this week. Vanderbilt has an outstanding offense and defense. I think they're top 12 in stopping the run in the country and like 33rd in rush offense. Coach Beck, the offense coordinator, that was a head coach at Pittsburgh State. He's been running this offense for years, and the quarterback that he brought over from Mexico State, Diego, understands offense checks. They got really good backs, got receivers that can make plays and contested catches. Their O-line is big, physical. And then defensively, they're big up front. I think their linebackers and secondary, there's a does an outstanding job of flying to the football. They pursue the football well. They're well coached. And, Clark Leah being the ex-Vanderbilt player, he has a lot of pride in his university. And being his fourth year there, you can kind of see everything kind of come together for their program. Then their punter that transferred in from Ohio State, he's an excellent punter. And then they have weapons in the return game. So we're definitely have to play our best to stay in this football game. And, that's the challenge to our guys this week. Just making sure that we play up to our standard, but also you play the very best where you don't have any regrets as an individual. With that being said, open up for questions.
You got a pretty good perspective on Vanderbilt watching them. Are you surprised at all with the start they got off to?
Not at all. I mean, Coach Leah's a very good coach. He spent numerous years in bigger Power 5 schools, and then whenever you work at your university, that just adds a little bit more emphasis and importance to your program, and want to make sure your program is run the right way. So you can kind of see they've built things the right way. He's a defensive-minded coach, and they added a defense coordinator that has a little bit of different flavor than he does, and you can kind of see that a little bit in some of their new philosophies on defense. But for the most part, I know it's Coach Clark's defense, and they do an outstanding job of not beating themselves and playing with extreme effort and getting 11 hats to the football. So we got to make sure we try to match that intensity and physicality that they're going to have in the game.
Going back to Saturday's game, you talked about it, players spoke to talk about wanting to get out to a faster start. Is that the kind of thing you wouldn't hope it'd be the case, that sometimes it has to happen in a game where it kind of clicks?
Yeah, you always want to get out to a fast start, but, there's two teams out there and 11 players at a time, so it requires everyone to be on the same page. It requires coaches to make good calls, and it requires execution. So when things don't happen that way, we can't panic. We got to move on to the next moment and try to win that next moment. So everyone would love to start fast, go 3 and out, get the ball, punch it in the end zone, and the next series be the same thing. But this is high-level football, and we're playing a very good opponent, and all of those guys are on scholarship, and they are in the SEC conference, so I'm sure they're going to have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, but so are we. And we're looking forward to the challenge in front of our fans. I was very pleased with our fan support last game, and really want to thank them for coming out to the game. Hopefully we can get more, and more so get our fans more involved in the game as far as crowd noise and celebrating successes when we do have them. Just trying to build that tradition of this being a hard place to play. We got a long way to go from that standpoint, but I know our fans will start to grow, and that will grow with the more success that we have.
Talking about up here, Coach, facing Vanderbilt's offense with Diego leading the team in rushing and passing, how do you approach that?
Oh, my bad.
You're okay. All good. How do you face a team, they're run-heavy, quarterbacks and keep the ball in his hands quite a bit, leading the team in rushing and passing? Defensively, how do you approach facing an opponent like this?
Yeah, our defense guys got to be have good eye discipline, got to strike blockers up front, and make sure we're on our responsibility. They have, a lot of zone read, power read, a little bit of triple option element to their offense. So a lot of the game is in the quarterback's hands, and he's a viable runner and thrower. So, that just poses a more of a threat whenever you got a quarterback that can make a broken play into a big play, and he can outrun angles. He's very tough. He runs through contact. So we're going to have to have 11 men playing their responsibility. Then once we see where the ball is going, we got to try to gang tackle and try to get them off schedule, so to speak, where it's basically like playing a Army-Navy type game. Their system, they're just doing it from the gun. So the time of possession is critical, and we got to maximize our offensive opportunities as well, because the game will be shortened, provided that we can not allow big plays and explosive plays.
You also switching to the other side on offense against Chattanooga, run heavy, short passing. Do you expect to kind of see that approach this upcoming contest? And is that a philosophy that you're really trying to bring into just the offense overall this year?
No, every game plan is different based on the team we're playing. So everyone has a different defensive philosophy. Defenses are going to take certain things away based on their players and scheme. So we're making game plans according to what a team does. Chattanooga was just playing so far off our guys, they weren't going to allow us to have any shots down the field. They were just basically backing up and breaking on the football and making the game that kind of way. So, just got to adjust to the game plan, execute, and try to just take advantage of the opportunities when they're presented.
Any common trends with you get the plus territory with the punt on one of the occasions, you get the fumble, and just those drives didn't really go anywhere. I guess what has to come across for maybe those opportunities to start? Yeah,
we just got to change our mindset as a unit, and just defense and the special teams did us a great service, and also did a service to our defense by having them backed up. So we got to make sure we capitalize on the opportunities when they're given to us. We did shoot ourselves in the foot, and those are things that are correctable, and that we're a learning and growing football team. So just trying to grow each week from the mistakes we made from the prior week, and having more situational awareness, more urgency when there's a momentum change, whether it's a turnover or vice versa. So, we got to step up to and when the play's called, step up to make that play and seize that opportunity with those downs. And, we can't afford to leave things out on the table when we're handed, and we're actually not handed, but when we're creating momentum and not taking advantage of it.
With the couple of the big plays in the past game, was there anything that stood out watching it back? Just Chat had a good play call there?
Bad eye discipline, bad angles once the ball's completed. So, it just comes down to eye discipline, playing our assignments, leveraging the ball, and getting 11 hats to the ball, playing with effort. So they executed the play, but a lot of things that happen in all games is most of the time someone making a mistake, and then that players take advantage of the opportunity of a mistake. So we got to cut down our minimum errors and minimum busts, and have great eye control on defense and fly to the football. And same thing on offense. We just got to we've given up 2 touchdowns based on turnovers in our red area, the quarterback sack fumble and the snap against Georgia Tech right there in the red area. So we got to eliminate those 2 things, and those are opportunities that we didn't have on offense where we could gain some momentum. So we're a work in progress and get on the same page, and our kids are really working hard to get out of everything that we're putting in front of them. So very proud of their attention to detail and trying to correct the things that we didn't do well.
I know you're focused game to game, but also a big part of this is you're hosting an SEC program, and one that obviously in a neighboring state. How big is this for the program, just for the exposure and as for recruiting and just getting more attention to the program overall?
Yeah, every opportunity is a big opportunity for our program and recruiting. We got a lot of recruits at the past game, and I don't expect anything less. So that's how you change your roster. The biggest and the best way to change your roster is through recruiting, and we're big believers in that process and trying to get the best guys that we can that fits what we want accomplished here at Georgia State. So very encouraged by Vanderbilt and SEC team coming to our stadium. Like I say, hopefully our fans and will show out in bunches to support our kids and start to create an environment that's harder to play in. We definitely got the seating capacity for that to happen. We just got to put a good product on the football field from a player coach standpoint, and I think the rest will come. But I'm excited to have Vandy come here, and really excited to see our guys perform against a very good opponent.
Pleased with the productivity of your running back rotation?
I am. There's only one ball out there, and there's a lot of different guys that kind of earn their touches on how they practice throughout the week, and then a lot of that has to do with what the other team is doing to try to take things away. So, there's always a game of adjustments, and we got to make adjustments, in series, halftime, to maximize what the defense is doing. So that's always a constant chess match when you're talking about football game, unless you're just completely getting dominated, and it don't matter what you call if it works out that way. So I don't feel like that'll be the case. So.
Is CJ close to being available?
I think so. He was out there practicing today, and he's doing a good job. So, yeah, I would think so, as long as we don't have any setbacks.
What have you seen from KD in the first 2 games? Obviously, forced that fumble, recovered that fumble, and Phillips, as we saw later in the game, kind of hard guy to chase down. Impressive play there.
Yeah, that was a very impressive play. That's one thing we preach from our defensive line is make sure we get out the stack and really take shots on ball, and he did an outstanding job of doing that and create a big play and momentum for us. And probably was a big difference in the game was the turnover margin and the explosive play margin that we had. One proud fact I am, every time we did get down, our offense answered and came back with a score. So it says a lot. We just got to stack plays and not beat ourselves. Try not to have long drives. We got to create more explosive plays to limit the drives, and the more plays you have in a drive, the more mistakes that can happen. So we just got to develop some more chemistry and explosive play, part of our package on offense. Good. All right, thanks.
So we will see how Georgia State fares. Tech host VMI, and then we mentioned Georgia on the road facing Kentucky. A little side segue. I don't believe we've ever really talked about Georgia gymnastics on the program.
Maybe
Gymnastics,
once or twice.
yes, but Georgia gymnastics, not while I have been here or while I've been on. But they have 2 co-coaches, and one of them, if you did not know, Coach Simone Biles at the Paris 2024 Olympics. It was a really cool storyline while she was there helping Simone. But now in Athens, ready to get the program running. So let's hear from the latest and what we can expect from the gymnastics team in Athens.
It's been fun. A lot of a lot of meetings, lots of meetings, a lot of meeting people. A little bit of coaching right now, but excited for next week when we can start the 20 hours. But it's been good. Really exciting.
Can you talk to us a little bit about the Olympic experience this year?
Well, after Tokyo, when it didn't go the way we wanted and the no crowd, being in Paris was incredible. Really an incredible experience. The highlight of the 20 years as club coaches, yeah.
I know that people like to make a big deal about the co-coach deal, but this is not unprecedented in gymnastics. I think when Arkansas first started, they had co-coaches. I'm not mistaken, maybe Utah did at one point in time. What's going to make this pair here, this relationship, work for UGA?
We're a good pair. We balance each other really well. We're different people, but with the same goals. And I think, it's not very common in college, but in club, it's everywhere. So I think it'll be a great add for UGA.
Yeah, and I would just add, while it may seem a little bit unorthodox, like she said, this is the typical elite club kind of dynamic. So, and we both have worked in that, her more recently than I, obviously, but we feel like it's the best model for this team for a variety of reasons. But the trust and respect we have for each other, and the communication, I think is going to make this really a great coaching staff overall. But we're really well versed in this kind of working together in the club and elite environment that we're just going to bring this right into the college world.
Can you all talk about do you have sort of set areas of you'll be doing this, you'll be doing that? How do you sort of go about deciding who does what or organizes or decides what?
Yeah, I think generally speaking, typically in college you do have this idea that each coach has one event. We really believe in, being able to know all the athletes on every event And if you have like a breakdown in technique in one area, most likely that's going to apply everywhere. So it's really important for all of our staff to know the athletes on every event. However, obviously there's going to be responsibilities in meets where you have one person, kind of the point person. So generally, myself will be like kind of supervise vault bars. Myself and Alexi vault bars. Alexi working on the floor, and then Cecile, the floor spotting and stuff. Cecile supervising beam and floor mostly, and then her and Marissa doing those things. So as far as the event responsibilities go, generally that's going to kind of be the structure. But practice-wise, all that, we want to know everybody everywhere. So it's like, there's no ego involved here. If we see something across the gym somewhere, we welcome the input from anybody. So I think it's great to have more eyes than less eyes, more brains than less brains, right? Because we're all on the same same philosophy. So I think we're going to be able to really function well because of that, like athlete-centric mentality. Athletes taking ownership of their stuff and moving forward in that way. So we're excited about it. I think it's going to be a really good dynamic.
A question for Cecile. Just so far, I know it's still early, but what kind of asset has Ryan been, having been around the program and sort of getting you settled as you get in here?
Huge. He's been in NCAA for a couple years, so he's giving me all what I need to know right now. And then I think almost every other day I get a little bit more information, a little bit more responsibilities. So, no, huge help for sure.
So, see, I was just wondering, of course, Georgia's a program. There's a lot of banners on the wall at Stegman Coliseum. It's a place that would pack out 10,000 fans, very ton of energy. How much did that history of the program play a role in you wanting to come here?
Huge. I've had athletes, and one of my best friends was part of the team that won 4 in a row. So I always loved Georgia. My athletes had a great time. So when the opportunity came, for sure, that's a great legacy. It's a lot of responsibilities, but we're excited for it. And, it will take some time, but we want to get back out there and have our own banner for sure.
Cecile, do your current athletes ask you about working with Simone and Jordan, and how much of a selling point will that be in recruiting?
Not a lot I ask. They think it's really cool that I know them, but they're like, you're so cool. But I'm just a coach, did my job. But I think knowing that I've been able to pace and coach well, 21, 23, 27-year-old, I think it's going to help for sure. And he obviously made me grow as a coach and got me ready to be in NCAA.
And as it relates to recruiting, do you think that will resonate with young gymnasts coming up?
I think so. And, I hope so. I think it was an honor for me, so I'm hoping they'll understand all that and, want to do the same.
Hi, this is for either of you. When looking at the roster, it seems like a lot of young talent with Lily, Holly, Addie. What's the next step that they need to take in order to improve?
So yeah, that's a great crew. We were just actually talking about our that class, great crew. I mean, I think our biggest step forward, obviously, continuing to stay healthy with that group, and then just keeping the consistency up. That's really the main thing. Their gymnastics is pretty much there, but there's a couple things that obviously we're working on for Addie, for Beam, get a little bit more consistent there. She's going to be a great all-arounder. Lily, I mean, I think she's proven her ability to compete at nationals and compete under pressure and consistently. So like if we're talking about improvement, vault's going to be her biggest place to improve, and she's working hard on that stuff. So that's a really good class, and we have really good freshmen coming up, and we had an amazing weekend with recruits this weekend. So and then when we see that, we're trying to raise the floor each year, right? So that's our philosophy. We're recruiting hard, and then obviously with her addition, hit the lottery here with Cecile coming on board. I can already see a shift in the way we're going to be able to recruit just based off this last couple months, but really only the 3 weeks she's been here. I mean, this is going to be she's catalyzing some things that's going to be really cool for our program.
Might we see a famous former Olympian at a home meet this season? Maybe come to visit, cheer you on.
She's invited. always. And if she's near, of course, I'm sure she'll be happy to come support us. Yeah. She's supporting us online already. That's already big, I feel like. So if she's wanting to come for a training or competition, we'll be happy to have her.
Kind of what is she doing online to help support you?
Posting and just saying nice things about me personally and as a team, and she's super excited to see what we can do, Georgia. I know she'll be watching.
Okay, so I needed to look up how to pronounce her name because I didn't want to absolutely butcher it. Cecil. Oh, I'm still gonna mess it up. We're just gonna call her Cecil. We're gonna make it easy, and I'm not gonna butcher it on TV. But I will practice it and get back to you, just like I had to practice Giannis Antetokounmpo. What was the other one? Is Brett over there? Me and Brett were talking about names that were hard to pronounce, and that was definitely one of them. All right, let's get to the back end of the program. Ellie, how concerned are you about Kirk Cousins?
Very. You give this man $180 million and he's going to go and do that.
So there's conspiracy theories now that Kirk Cousins is not healthy, even though Raheem, the quarterback himself, Zach Robinson have all said he's healthy. Everyone wants to bring up how many times they were in the pistol formation, opposed to some play action. Who knows? I think the best way to quiet the noise is to go out there and do a lot of play action against the Eagles on Monday Night Football. Show that Kirk can move. But, can we manage some things here? Kirk never moved well to begin with.
No.
Okay, so, calm down. Second of all, I said it yesterday, in a new offense, new offensive coordinator, a lot of new pieces, new team, over a year since you've played a snap. Give him a little bit of grace. It did not look good. I do hope he's healthy, but the one thing that does help these conspiracy theories is that they did get Penix. And what if from the time they got Kirk Cousins to drafting Penix, they learned something maybe they didn't like? I don't know. Kirk talks on Thursday, and I'm sure he's going to address it, so I'm eager what he is going to say. So, all right, what's on your mind? You can go first.
I wonder what's on my mind. Mauricio Pochettino finally announced as the U.S. men's national team coach.
Finally. Official. We will see what he will be able to do. Okay, I have to get to what mine is. Okay. You went to Shaky Knees, correct?
Yes.
Did you go the third day?
I did not stay for Foo Fighters. I know where this is going.
I'm not.
I don't care.
Okay, well, I do. This is my moment. Calm down.
I don't care.
I gave you your moments. I even gave you one off the top. You were going to give me this moment, Ellie. So give me a second, okay? I'm not surprised. I'm just disappointed. Because as a Dave Grohl fan, I stan the Foo Fighters. I stan that man. But to release the fact you cheated on your wife out of wedlock and had a baby, and the baby is here, and to put it on Instagram like it's some type of college football announcement, is a slap in the face to your wife and your daughters.
I get where you're coming from. I just
Anyway.
can't find it. I just can't find it in myself to care. I'm sorry.
I care because I love the drama and the tea, and it's good tea. You can't deny that.
I can't deny that. I also don't care.
Would you ever post something like that on social media?
No.
I get we're not pop stars and we're not rock stars and people don't care about us, but I just can't imagine putting my business out there like that on Instagram. Yeah. Anyway, that took me by storm today. Really preoccupied some of my time, I'm not going to lie. But nonetheless, sports continues on. We will have a very interesting week, especially on Thursday. Mm-hmm. Thursday is the day the Falcons talk out in Flowery Branch because they have Monday Night Football, so their schedule gets pushed a little bit. We'll be eager to hear from Kirk Cousins and see how he handles this whole thing because the Falcons do have to figure it out. Not only do they have the Eagles on Sunday Night Football, Then the following, or Monday Night Football, the following Sunday, for Sunday Night Football, they have the Chiefs at home.
Good luck.
Gonna be brutal. All right, that does it for this edition of Sports Tonight. For Ellie Parker, I'm Bailey Burmaster. You all have a great night.